I'm almost too excited and perplexed in moments because I just feel like we have the best team, and I'm so lucky, and thank you so much for everything you do. And then when I was about 14, 15, I released one of my songs called Naturally. And I remember it went #1 on the dance charts or club charts. And I was like, I'm not even old enough to get in the club. And I was like, thank you. That was so cool.
There are evenings in Hollywood that feel like a whisper of history. Nights when the air is thick with anticipation, art, and the promise of something unforgettable. On such a night, the city's heartbeat pulse at the exclusive screening of The Testament of N.N. Lee, a film already stirring intense conversations among cinephiles and critics alike. With the arrival of some of the industry's most compelling talents, Selena Gomez, Amanda Seyfried, Brady Corbet, and Mona Fastvold, the red carpet transformed into a tapestry of excitement, elegance, and creative synergy. Before the first frame flickered on the screen, The Testament of N.N. Lee had gathered a reputation as one of the year's most enigmatic and anticipated films. Directed by Mona Fastvold, whose previous works have been praised for their atmospheric depth and emotional intelligence, the film explores the life and legacy of N. Lee, the charismatic and controversial founder of the Shakers, a radical religious movement that swept through 18th century America. Brady Corbet, known both for his daring directorial ventures and nuanced performances, delivers an interpretation of the faith's conflicted followers, while Amanda Seyfried and Selena Gomez take on roles that promise to challenge and redefine their public personas. The result is a film that is as thought-provoking as it is visually arresting, a meditation on faith, power, and the cost of devotion. The screening, held at the historic Egyptian Theater, was a study in contrasts. Old Hollywood grandeur merging with the contemporary edge of indie cinema. As the first flashbulbs burst, Selena Gomez stepped onto the carpet, radiating a quiet confidence. Dressed in a tailored black velvet gown with subtle nods to Shaker simplicity, Gomez's look was a deliberate homage to the subject of the film. Amanda Seyfried followed, shimmering in a deep emerald silk dress that caught the light with every movement. Embodying both the mystique and modernity she brings to her character in the film. Brady Corbet, in a classic three-piece suit, and Mona Fastvold, in an understated yet elegant ensemble, completed the quartet. Together, their arrival set the tone for an evening dedicated to the intersection of artistry and history. Inside the theater, the buzz was electric. The cast and director took a moment to speak with select members of the press, offering rare insights into the making of The Testament of N.N. Lee. Selena Gomez, whose career has spanned music, television, and film, spoke candidly about the transformative process of inhabiting a character so far removed from her own experiences. Playing Sarah, one of N. Lee's most devoted followers, was both a challenge and a gift. Gomez said, "It required me to strip away everything familiar and immerse myself in a world defined by sacrifice and faith." Mona Fastvold created a space where we could explore those emotions authentically. Amanda Seyfried, fresh from her acclaimed performance in The Dropout, discussed the complexities of portraying N. Lee herself, and was a visionary, but also a deeply flawed human being. Seyfried explained, "I was drawn to the contradictions within her strength, her vulnerability, her belief in something larger than herself. It's not every day you get to play a character who changed the course of history." Brady Corbet, whose reputation as a chameleon precedes him, reflected on the collaborative nature of production. "Mona's direction is all about trust," he said. "She encourages her actors to take risks, to dig deeper. That's when the magic happens." Mona Fastvold, at the helm of the conversation, summed up the sentiment of the evening. "This film is about questioning what we believe in and why. It's about the courage to stand apart, even when it costs you everything." As the lights dimmed and the audience settled in, there was a palpable sense of anticipation. The Testament of N.N. Lee is not a film that offers easy answers. Instead, it invites viewers to wrestle with the same questions that haunted its characters. Where does faith end and fanaticism begin? What is the true price of conviction? From the opening scene, a haunting tableau of Shaker rituals, rendered in stark, poetic visuals, it was clear that Fastvold had crafted a cinematic experience unlike any other. The film moves with a deliberate pace, each shot a study in composition and emotion. Gomez's performance is a revelation, her quiet intensity anchoring the film's more meditative moments. Seyfried's and Lee is both charismatic and inscrutable, her presence lingering long after the credits roll. Corbet's portrayal adds a layer of complexity, depicting the internal struggles of those swept up in the movement. The audience, a mix of industry veterans, critics, and invited guests, responded with rapt attention. There were moments of collective silence, punctuated by audible gasps as the narrative unfolded. By the time the film reached its devastating conclusion, the room felt transformed, united by a shared, almost spiritual experience. Following the screening, the cast and creative team gathered for a moderated Q&A session with film historian Dr. Caroline Masters. The discussion delved into the film's historical context, its relevance to contemporary society, and the personal journeys of those involved. Gomez reflected on the parallels between the Shaker community and modern society. We live in a time of division and searching for meaning, for connection. The Shakers were outsiders, but they created something beautiful out of their isolation. I think that a message we need right now. Seyfried spoke about the challenges of portraying a figure as polarizing as in Lee. It's easy to judge from a distance, but when you step into her shoes, you see the world differently. You realize how much courage it takes to stand up for your beliefs, especially when the world is against you. Corbet discussed the process of building tension within the ensemble cast. The stakes were always high. Every scene felt like a tightrope walk. That intensity is what makes the story resonate. Fastvold, ever the thoughtful storyteller, emphasized the importance of empathy. History is written by the victors, but cinema allows us to see through different eyes. My hope is that audiences leave the theater questioning their assumptions, not just about In Lee, but about themselves. The evening concluded with an intimate reception where guests mingled over hors d'oeuvres and champagne. Conversations buzzed with excitement, analysis, and praise for the film's bold storytelling. It was a rare moment of unity in an industry often defined by competition, a testament, perhaps, to the power of art to bridge divides. Among the attendees were industry luminaries, rising stars, and passionate film lovers, all eager to discuss the film's themes and performances. The consensus was clear. The Testament of N.N. Lee is a work that challenges, inspires, and lingers in the mind long after the final scene. In a cinematic landscape saturated with franchises and formula, The Testament of A.N.N. Lee stands out as a daring, original work. It is a film that refuses to pander, instead trusting its audience to grapple with difficult questions. The performances are nuanced, the direction assured, and the storytelling uncompromising. But perhaps the true legacy of the evening lies not just in the film itself, but in the conversations it sparked, the willingness of its cast and creators to engage with history, faith, and the complexities of a human spirit. In a world craving authenticity,